Hi, and welcome to the first conversation. Oh, okay. Hi, ew. Hi, and welcome to the first episode of Conversations with Liv. My name is Olivia, but obviously, from the title, you can call me Liv if you want, or Livy, Olive, whatever, as long as it makes sense. I don't really mind. So, I wanted to start this podcast just to kind of bring different perspectives and thoughts to everyday topics and issues that we all go through. As much as everyone has their own lives and may live in different places, the things that we go through are relatively the same for the most part. So there are certain things that affect us all, although we may not want to admit it or we may not talk about it. So I just wanted to bring that to the forefront and just, see where people's heads are at and just kind of get like a better understanding of topics that I may not know that much about and that you may not know that much about. So just kind of educate everybody in a way. So I guess I just want everyone to kind of take something from this, including myself, because I kind of feel like if we expand our horizons on things, only good can really come from it. Like there's nothing bad comes from gaining extra knowledge on a topic. So from the title of this podcast, which is Filled with Fear and Do It Anyway, I'm kind of still in like a New Year vibe. I mean, it is technically New Year's Day 2.0 as I'm recording this on February 1st. So Happy New Year, everyone. I hope this year brings you nothing but blessings. So as we celebrate the new year, I just wanted to kind of like say if there's something that you wanted to do, or if there's like a big leap you wanted to make, whether that's in your career, your personal life, or school, or whatever, as much as it may feel scary to like do certain things, and I get it, I also feel scared to do things at times. I'm sorry, but that fear's not going to go anywhere. Like the feeling of being scared about a new situation or a new like journey isn't gonna go. So the best that you can actually do is just do it. Really, that's probably not what you want to hear, and I'm sorry if you feel like that's useless advice. But that's just it. Like you can't wait for feelings to subside for you to then make a decision about your life. Your life only comes around once, so you got to take every opportunity as it comes. Otherwise, you're gonna look back and be like, "Oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, and why? Oh, because I was scared." Okay, that's not really a good enough reason. So, as well as sharing with you that message that may or may not have been cryptic, I don't know, take it as you wish. I also thought that I would share some of the things that I learned throughout 2020 and just over the years in general. Like I would have done if I had recorded this last year, I would have done this on my birthday and shared what I'd learned over the 23 years. But hey, everything happens for a reason, so we're just going to do things I learned through 2020 and just call it a day. So there's a few things I've learned. I didn't count them, but I don't think you'll be sitting here listening for a while. So yeah, first thing that I wanted to share that I learned last year is to choose happiness. That might sound straightforward, but in a world where like pessimism and comparison is like rife, like everywhere you turn there's people showing you different things through social media and you're just like, oh my gosh, this person has this and this, or like with the whole pandemic and things like that, it's kind of hard to be happy, especially when people are getting sick and people are passing away. But there's just something in knowing that you have your life, and that's enough to be happy about. Some people don't have their lives anymore. Some people are in prison. Some people are sick and they're bedbound. But if you're able to get up every day and do what you want to do, you should be happy. So choose happiness. The second thing is, don't grind until you die. Now that sentence in itself, I'm not too sure if it's grammatically correct. If it's not, then cool, someone has to correct me, yeah, message me, whatever, I don't really mind. So with that, there's this culture, and I think even like a lot of people say it, like, oh, you know, rise and grind, or, you know, I'll rest when I'm dead, or some rubbish like that. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, if you have, you're working hard, let's say you're working hard and you work insane hours per week and you make great money, that's good. Like, it's good to be hardworking, I'm not disputing that. But you don't ever enjoy your life. What's the point? What's the point in working until you get to an age where you can't even enjoy your life, or when you've worked so hard, you didn't even spend time with the people that you care about. You've worked so hard that, like, everything that you thought was important, by the time that you realise they're not important anymore, like, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing admirable about spending so much time making money rather than like spending time making memories with people. But again, someone else may see it differently, and if you do, again, feel free to message me and tell me your reasoning. But personally, I just don't agree with working so hard that you don't, you know, ever get to see the finer things in life, the free things. So yeah, another lesson that I've learned, and this is something that I take quite personally, like, it triggers me every single time I think about it, is that procrastination is real. Yeah, I knew that I was someone that exhibits procrastination. Is that even the right word? Exhibits. I procrastinate. I procrastinated in uni, I procrastinated through secondary school, through college. I don't procrastinate at work, but that's kind of because I'm working at my procrastination. But if you know you're somebody that says, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, oh, it's fine, it will affect you. Stop listening to the evil voice inside your head that's telling you that tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day. If you could do something today, do it today. I was meant to start this years ago, and then I started it last year, and then now here we are in February, and I'm starting it again. And I hope that this episode actually comes out, because then I'll actually just be a hypocrite. But hey, work on your procrastination as much as you can, because there's just nothing good that comes from procrastination, man. This is nothing at all. Next lesson I learnt last year was that life is short. Now, I knew life was short, but there's certain things that obviously happened through the pandemic and different things that I learned that kind of just showed me, okay, cool, people live until like 80 and 90, but some people don't live past like 25. So you don't know if you're going to be that person that lives to 90 or if you're not, and that's quite morbid, but that's just the reality of the situation. Life is not guaranteed. You don't have a set amount of years that's guaranteed to you. So just take every day as a blessing, be thankful for it, and yeah, be happy. Now, the next lesson that I learned is to not hold on to things that have expired. So that could be clothes, a career, a friendship, a relationship, and I guess that's the thing everyone tends to think about when they think about things that expired, is relationships. But it's true. If you know that you are in a situation that doesn't serve you anymore, let it go. And again, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying these things as if like they're the easiest things in the world. They're not. These are just things that I think everyone should kind of have in the back of their head and try and apply to their daily life. So if you know that you are friends with somebody that isn't nice to you or isn't a good enough friend like you are to them, then why are you friends with them? Like, just saying it out loud, the logic isn't there. Or if you know your boyfriend or your girlfriend isn't for you, why are you with them? Oh, because you're with them for years, okay. But why else are you with them? And then the next thing that I learned last year was people are mad Like, people can be insane, but that doesn't mean that you should let them get you out of your character. Now, my sweet friend Suzanne, she told me this. I think this was third year. I don't think she remembers telling me this, but we were eating somewhere in Coventry, and I think I was been telling her about a situation, like, obviously because people have been insane for years, but this one was really getting to me. She was like, well, like, regardless of however they may act towards you, don't let them get you out of your character. And from that day, it stuck with me. Like, if people are doing the most to you, there isn't any reason for them to make you not stick to your principles and your morals. As much as it, you may want to cuss them out or fight them or whatever, it's not worth it. Just stick to who you know you are. Don't rise up to whatever it is they're doing. It's tempting, and it might feel good in that moment, but at the end of the day, like, you feel better knowing that you were sticking to your principles and your morals, as opposed to adding more fire to any situation. So yeah. Another thing I learned was to care, or to try not to care what people think. And I say try because it's not really easy to be like, you know what, I don't care what anybody thinks. It's something that people should aim for, but I kind of feel like naturally, like as human beings, we have this thing of wanting to be liked by people. So it's obviously a bit hard to be like, oh, don't care what someone thinks about you. But I guess try and get to a point where if there's someone's thoughts or people's opinions of you is hindering you from moving forward and kind of achieving what you want, then that's where it gets a bit dangerous. Like, that's where you should be like, you know what, I draw the line there. But again, it is hard, so that's something to play around with, I guess. Another thing was that comparison is the thief of all joy, and the internet is full of pressures. Like, okay, so I have to remind myself that I'm 23. It is okay that I don't own my own home, or it is okay that, I don't have like a paying job. Because when you go online, there's people that are like 20 and they've bought their own home, or they're earning like this much money, and it's kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, you're not doing anything wrong. Your life is your life, and your journey is your journey. You can't spend time comparing yourself to people because you don't know what they've done to get to where they need to go. You don't know what their journey looks like. It will be nice to have lots of money. I'm not saying it wouldn't, and it would be nice to own a home. Of course it would be. But I also need to think about what I've done in my life and all that I have. And even though to some maybe like, oh my god, you've not done a lot, but to me and to other people that maybe may not have as much as me, it'll be like, oh my god, you've done so much, and I've done so much. Like, that's something enough to be proud of. I should be proud enough of my journey and my accomplishments. So that's something that everyone should kind of take on board. Like, yeah, you may not be where you want to be, or yeah, you may not have what that person has, but you have something that's unique to you that you should be proud of. So yeah. Now, this is like the last point, but there's like points wrapped up inside it, so I hope it makes sense. You shouldn't be offended when people pick themselves first. If anything, you should just do the same. So we have friendships and relationships with, our parents, our siblings, friends, partners, whatever. And if you are the kind of person that gives a lot in a relationship or a friendship, you may have the expectation that person's going to do the same for you, but it's like, at the end of the day, if they pick themselves for any reason, don't take it personally. Like, not everything is about you. It could just be, that's the best decision they need to make for themselves. And even if it might affect you negatively, again, it's not about you, it's about them. So now when you are now making a decision, think about how it's going to affect you first before you now think about other people, because if everyone else is going to pick themselves, who's going to pick you first if not you? Another thing I'd say is wrapping, kind of linking it back to the last thing, that what I thought was the last thing I was going to say, was try not to have expectations of people, and try not to hold people to the standard in which maybe you hold yourself, because we're all different. So you might expect, your siblings to understand that you like things a certain kind of way, but they're their own people. So don't take it personally, or don't hold them to the same standard as yourself. Just know who they are and accept them for that. Same thing with your friends or your partner. If your partner doesn't like to, I don't know, iron clothes or whatever, because iron clothes, don't get annoyed at them because they're not ironing the clothes. Just know they don't like to iron, and either you accept that or you leave it. If your friends are not punctual people, I'm not sending for anybody here. If your friends are not punctual people, don't take it to heart so much. Like if it really aggravates you that your friends are not punctual, it's one of two things. You either accept it for who they are, or you stop being friends with them. And that might seem extreme, but there's no point being angry at the fact they're not changing as people when that's who they are. That's how you met them. That is it. So if you've got to the end of this, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll leave that in the information section. But my Instagram is Conversations with Liv, so same thing as this podcast. Wherever you're listening from, be sure to follow, subscribe, like, whatever. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.